This is your astrological forecast for Aquarius in 2022, January through March. This astrology forecast is for those who have their sun in Aquarius or an Aquarius Ascendant, also known as the rising sign. As an Aquarius, your ruling planets are Saturn and Uranus. Saturn is about structure, maturity, rules, laws, and boundaries. Uranus is the opposite in that it represents freedom, liberation, and independence. Uranus will go to extraordinary lengths to break free from anything that restricts its freedom. Aquarians are unique people who usually march to the beat of a different drummer. Your mode is fixed and your element is air. You as an Aquarian are a fixed air sign. Air symbolizes communication. Fixed air symbolizes your ruling planets. Saturn is fixed in its foundation or structure. Uranus represents the higher mind or enlightened thinking, of which air represents thoughts, ideas, and communication. Aquarius' symbol is the water bearer or water carrier. The symbolism shows how you as an Aquarian want to understand life's imperfections so that you can be wise and inventive in order to find a way to improve things in life. This can be improving the world through innovation and technology, or any way that you can think of that benefits humanity. Aquarians are free thinkers, although they understand the structure of things. It is through this understanding they are able to build upon remaining structures or ideas and create something better or new. Saturn represents the government, rules, and laws. An Aquarian understands these rules and laws and what they mean and represent to them. However, their Uranian energy doesn't like rules, laws, or anything that restricts their freedom. Oftentimes, it is Aquarians who are the ones enlightening society on the propaganda being used against humanity, and they try to expose it. They see right through the garbage that governments try to sell us on. Aquarians rebel against the status quo, always seeking more out of life and striving to make it a better place. Sometimes it takes them making a shocking statement or a dramatic move to shake things up in order to get people questioning what they believe. Aquarius is a social sign and archetypally rules the 11th house of friendships, groups, clubs, and social circles. So Aquarians are social creatures and oftentimes seek to join and be part of causes they believe will help change the world. They are the revolutionaries of every time and every era who seek to create change in the world. In January, the Sun, Mercury, Venus, and Pluto are in Cardinal Earth Capricorn in your 12th house of spirituality, karma, isolation, withdrawal, and retreat from the world. Pluto has been in your 12th house since 2008, so you've definitely felt the effects of his transit through this house. Much energy is focused on your 12th house at the very beginning of the year. Once the Sun moves into Aquarius on January 20th, you'll only have Pluto and Venus left in your 12th house. The 12th house is a very mystical house and oftentimes confusing. It represents prisons, hospitals, ashrams, nunneries, and all places that are really isolating you from the world. Pluto represents the Kundalini or evolutionary life force within you. It is secretive, hidden, and lies below the surface. Therefore, Pluto is quantum change. It dives deep into your psyche or subconscious mind in order to dive into areas of the subconscious mind that need healing. Facing the deep, dark, secretive part of yourself, many parts may even be unknown to you, is how you transform yourself. It is a process that oftentimes is very difficult, challenging, and painful. Pluto being in Capricorn, an earth sign, these can be traumas, scars, or tragedies that have left a mental impression on your consciousness, but also affected your physical life as well. Ways to deal with Pluto's energy is often through spiritual health, meditation and spiritual practice, going someplace alone, seeking a spiritual teacher, counselor, or psychologist. Meditation would be a huge benefit to you because meditation activates the Kundalini or cosmic life force and raises your consciousness to higher levels. Your ruling planet Uranus is the higher wisdom mind and is about enlightenment. Breathing techniques in connection with meditation will raise the Kundalini up the spine so that you live in higher states of consciousness. Currently, Uranus is in fixed Earth Taurus in your 4th house of home and family and the keyword struggle. The struggle referred to here is the conflict between mental and physical forces where they are focused. Saturn is in your home sign of Aquarius, squaring or forming a disharmonious aspect to Uranus. This has been going on over a year for you. You may feel like you've been isolated to your home and want to break free. Uranus wants to rebel against the restrictions that Saturn, the government, is enforcing. Saturn is in the keyword inspiration in your first house of self. How do you find inspiration when you feel restricted, confined, and isolated? Especially if you are living in a country that is forcing people to stay home. The answer begins with meditation. Any meditation that is transcendental in nature. You need a meditation that takes you beyond the physical world to a freer, more expanded state. That state is your subconscious mind or soul. You'll find you can heal aspects of yourself in meditation while expanding your consciousness, taking care of your spiritual being, and being able to fight from a higher state of being. You'll get ideas from a higher source and open your mind beyond the understanding of the physical world that the physical world offers. It will help you gain a deeper, more enlightened perspective as to why things are taking place in the world the way they are. The knowledge you obtain and attain through your own self-realized process will help you to enlighten others. This is another way you can rebel against the way things are in a non-violent way. Also, understanding esoteric knowledge will help you understand and be able to explain to others the hidden secrets that the secret societies use to hide their agendas and use to manipulate consciousness and truth. Diving deep into the symbolism will help you see what is going on before your eyes. Their symbology is everywhere you look once you know. They talk in codes and numbers, and once you understand this, you as a rebel and revolutionary can expose their games to your friends, social groups, clubs, and to humanity. Pluto is in the keyword idealism, which refers to grasping the ideal and expressing it in concrete form. This area of the zodiac has to do with cultivating higher emotions, and by doing this, you are able to communicate with those who have crossed over to the spirit world. With Pluto being in your second house, this is a real possibility as long as you're doing things to connect to higher realities that cultivate your ability to connect to spirits beyond the physical. You may even feel the love wisdom they are pouring down upon you and all of humanity right now. Pulling valuable information down from your subconscious mind or the spiritual world will give you valuable information to use in the physical world. Pluto also trines your north node of your future, or where you want to be headed, and forms a sextile to the south node, your past or where you don't want to be headed. The nodes also square your first house of self and ascendant, how people see your personality and your life mission. You may feel like you're in a crisis during this time as you work on yourself. You're working to transform your life on a deep level, on a spiritual or even karmic level. The south node, your past, or past behaviors, is in Scorpio in your 10th house of career and status in life, in the keyword attainment. Attainment referred to here represents having intense emotions and ideas, particularly associated with the value you have for your home and country. When chivalry is developed within, you can become capable of lofty efforts to succeed in life, especially if you find a partner with the same values you have. The north node, your future, is in Taurus, in the keyword mastership in your 4th house of home and family. Mastership refers to your ability to use physical means to attain spiritual ends. True spiritual attainment is a slow and steady climb to the top without many setbacks. You use the power that is inherent within you to help other people. In this case, you'd be helping your family as well as yourself. The number 4, or the 4th house, represents foundation. Your home and family and how you grew up as a child are all part of your foundation. You must take care of yourself so that your foundation is intact in order to take care of your home and family's foundation. But it all starts with you. This is why Pluto is in a harmonious aspect to the nodes. It is supporting you working on your past in order to live in a better and brighter future for yourself and your family. On March 2nd, Mars will conjunct Pluto in your 12th house. Mars is the planet of action, ambition, willpower, anger, and war. Mars-Pluto together make you feel irritable and uneasy. They are calling for you to look at unconscious behaviors within yourself. These behaviors come from your past. You have to deal with psychological issues and face them. These are aspects of yourself you try and hide from people. You may notice you want to act or say something in a particular way, but it doesn't happen the way you intended. This can be a volatile force, and for a few days while Mars agitates Pluto. It's best to keep to yourself or work alone if possible. Mars will be pushing your behavior patterns in your psyche that you need to look at and work on. Mars will push you into action, and so working hard is usually suggested. However, I'm suggesting you work hard on identifying your issues so you can work on healing them and moving past them. The longer you wait, the longer you'll have to face them. April through June. On April 4th, Mars will conjunct Saturn in your first house of self and square the north node of where you want to be headed in your fourth house of home and family, and the south node of where you don't want to be headed in your 10th house of career and status. Since Saturn crossed your ascendant and moved into your first house on December 17th, 2020, you may have felt your responsibilities becoming heavy. However, your accomplishments will be wonderful and satisfying. Saturn in your first house is about internal growth. It is suggested not to start long-term projects until Saturn moves into your second house in March of 2023. You should be working on getting things done that aren't long-term. This is a time to get things accomplished and not sit around waiting for a better time or opportunity. This is also a time to look within and find what you truly want out of life. Saturn is about structure, and so this is a restructuring time of your life where you look within, learn about yourself, and find what it is you really need. If the external world puts pressure on you, which can be the government, you may feel like you can't cope and you want to withdraw. Being introspective is what Saturn is forcing you to do. If you're not being introspective, you may find yourself immersed in work or a project that takes your mind away from looking at yourself. This is distracting you from looking within and dealing with things that need restructuring. If you feel like you need help or guidance, it is recommended you find a psychologist to talk to. Mars will build frustration within you. This is a short transit of a few days, so this will pass soon. Mars is like a gas pedal and Saturn is like a brake pedal. You'll want to get things moving, and Saturn will stop you or slow you down. Just be careful during this time not to let people get on your nerves. This transit won't give you the opportunity to act on your impulses. You may have to deal with your anger and frustration in silence. Don't let your feelings stew. Exercise or do something that lets out the frustration in a positive and beneficial way. Your feelings of frustration may be from someone setting you off or triggering something within you that you need to look at. This transit in connection to the nodes is about introspection and looking in the mirror at yourself. This year is about deep self and psychological work in connection to building a new structure or foundation for yourself. On April 11th, Jupiter will form a conjunction with Neptune in your second house of money, possessions, and things you want, in mutable water Pisces, and the keyword vicissitudes. This transit lasts until the middle to the end of May. Neptune and Jupiter are in the greatest strength in their home sign of Pisces. Jupiter manifests as abundance, optimism, growth, expansion, excess, and the bigger picture. You may find your feelings and emotions excessively strong during this time. Neptune's planetary energy is the highest vibrational frequency and can manifest as confusion, delusion, illusion, and disillusionment. However, Neptune is also the planet of divine love and unity consciousness, as well as that of dreams, spirituality, and dissolving boundaries. Neptune also forms harmonious aspects to the nodes. Neptune's influence here will last several years, so you won't experience the effects suddenly. Neptune in your second house is having you go through fundamental changes in what you see as important. Do you value and are you attached to your material possessions? Do you find your worth in what you have and possess? If you do, this transit will be difficult for you. Do your things determine what you can and cannot do? Neptune dissolves ego boundaries, and in your second house, Neptune is working against your ego attachments to things in order to reorient your views. This doesn't mean you'll go broke or lose everything. It's just that you may make costly mistakes in matters of money or decisions like investments in property or the stock market that may cause you to take some losses. Neptune is teaching and showing you what is truly important in your life through the principle of detachment. It's asking you to find importance in non-material things. Jupiter will expand your confusion and detachment from things. It is advised you don't invest during this time. Don't even pull money out or take a loan until this transit has passed. If you need money, a bank loan would be fine, but not advised. Borrowing money from friends and family could go awry due to the confusion Neptune brings. There may be a misunderstanding about the agreement and create problems that aren't worth it. Jupiter and Neptune in the keyword vicissitudes refers to recapitulating your life in exciting ways. You may find yourself being very confused as to the direction of your life based on financial issues. This is a time to not spend money on fancy things. Save your money, don't take unnecessary risks, and don't allow people to talk you into doing something you know you shouldn't be doing. More importantly, find the value in other things besides money and possessions. May 17th and 18th, Mars will conjunct Neptune. Jupiter will have moved into Aries and no longer together with Neptune. Mars together with Neptune will cause you to feel strange, and you won't necessarily know why. Mars is an ego planet, and Neptune dissolves ego boundaries. This may cause you to feel weak, discouraged, and as if you can't do things to your liking. If you find yourself confused or disillusioned, search out facts to bring you back to reality. This can also be a time where you need to be careful with how you spend your money. Make sure if you're buying something or investing that you know all the facts. There is a chance someone is trying to swindle you. Just be aware, and you'll make it through this transit just fine. The end of May and beginning of June, Mars will form a conjunction with Jupiter in Mars's home sign of Aries in your third house of communication, writing, teaching, speaking, and short trips. This is a wonderful transit as long as you're not expressing anger. You can get a lot accomplished with work and chores, and your energy will be high. You'll find you're more confident than usual. Risky opportunities may present themselves during this time and may actually pay off. This also may be a time you really communicate what's on your mind either through writing, speaking, or teaching. You'll be passionate about what you're communicating, and with Jupiter in your third house, you'll gain a big audience. The key word for Mars, Jupiter, and Aries is activity. Activity refers to the busy business person and propelling your ideas into action. This part of the zodiac is about moving forward through your enthusiasm, progress, and being a harbinger of better things. During this time, you may be inspired to take a short trip. It could even be a work trip. Most likely, you'll be going somewhere that gives you more energy, excites, and stimulates you. Maybe you travel to give a talk or teach others about what you know. July through September. Mid-July, Uranus will conjunct the North Node in fixed Earth Taurus in your fourth house of home and family. The key word for this conjunction is struggle, which refers to the conflict between physical and mental forces where they are focused. Uranus is enlightened thinking, trying to wake you up to truths about your home and family. This area of the zodiac you'll want to mentally attack with great force through the use of your enlightened thinking to cause obstacles in your way to crumble. Saturn in your first house of self has been squaring Uranus for a year and a half. This has been blocking or restricting Uranus's ability to really break free. Uranus stays in Taurus until 2026, which is working on changing your relationships with family members and parents. Upsets may occur, but it is showing you where your life needs change and reform so that you can have a new sense of freedom. Changing your residence may be part of this transit. It may come from several avenues, such as a sudden family death, an accident, or your spouse threatening you with divorce. These changes may be upsetting and sudden, as if they come out of nowhere. This is a time where you'll have to try your best to be flexible because the structure that you are used to is changing. Saturn square to your house of self is showing the need for more introspection. Life is challenging you to look within and restructure your life. The end of July and beginning of August, Mars will conjunct Uranus and the North Node, propelling into action and change. The change may come from a fight or argument. This can be a time of sudden upsets. The transit is short but may be very powerful. You'll want to exert your power to break free of whatever situation is upsetting you or holding you back. This transit represents challenges with authority figures. And with Saturn still squaring Uranus and the North Node, you may find you are really having trouble breaking free of the restrictions that authority figures have imposed on you. This can be government officials, politicians, judges, your boss, and even your spouse, parent, or family member. It's anyone holding an authoritative position against what you want. This could even be a landlord. The tension built up in you may cause you to act impulsively and do something suddenly, something you don't normally do. Caution is warranted because your actions can cause accidents during this time, so be careful with the decisions you make. On a positive note, creative expression can be very high, and you may find innovation in something you are doing or creating. This project may take up a lot of your time, but it's giving you an outlet to express and assert your individuality in a constructive way. The North Node is enlightening you to not fall back on past behaviors and to stand up to your individual need for freedom and independence. Use inventive ways to combat the structure of your own ways, your own self, your home environment, and the structure of the limitations imposed on you by authority. The South Node or your past behaviors are in the keyword responsibility. Responsibility refers to coming to a point in life where personal gratification must be sacrificed on the altar of devotion to your sense of duty. It has to do with sacrificing certain things in life to rise above challenges so you can succeed, fill positions of importance, and rise to spiritual heights. It is about being focused on your goal or aim and nothing stopping you from your responsibilities and attaining it. The South Node is in your house of career, so are you putting your career before your family? Your status in life is also the 10th house, so you may be propelled to care how other people view what you do and what you have. All of this is part of the breaking down process that the transcendent planets Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto are working on to change and reshape your life. What you are giving importance to is a major theme in your life. Saturn is diligently trying to get you to look at yourself and restructure the person that you are. You're trying to hold on to your position and status in life based on all the hard work you've put into your employment, your career, and your family, and now it may seem like things may be falling apart. These things will fall apart unless you have a stable foundation upon which everything lies. If you don't, a new foundation will be the result of these transits propelling you into losing things or things falling apart in order to build a new foundation. New foundations aren't built on old foundations. It doesn't work like that. It takes starting on new land or tearing down and dismantling the old to build a new structure on a new foundation. Again, this could be moving away to start anew. October through December. Through the early part of October through the middle part of October, an air grand trine will form. This is the best aspect possible. Air represents communication and breathing. It may be a good time to take a breath of fresh air during this time as things begin to flow, at least for half the month. The Sun and Venus are in Libra, Mars is in Gemini, and Saturn is in Aquarius, all forming harmonious aspects to one another. Mars in your 5th house of creativity, joy, betting, gambling, love affairs, and children is in the keyword reason, which represents enlightened thinking. You can accomplish a lot with Mars in this position as long as you don't allow your ideas to become crystallized. Mars is aggression, anger, action, willpower, drive, and war. Mars trines Saturn in Aquarius in your 1st house of self and your ascendant. Saturn is in the keyword inspiration, referring to exerting yourself and your mind by conveying ideas to others in a convincing manner. This can also be expressing your ideas through your creativity. The connecting link during this time is the Sun and Venus in Libra in your ninth house of philosophy, religion, and higher education. This is also the house of legal matters. The Sun-Venus will be in the keyword independence and then move into expiation, all while staying in the air grand trine. Independence refers to expressing your individuality and originality through what you believe. The sun is where you're shining, your light. It symbolizes illumination and purification. Venus is your attraction and repulsion to things, your love and desire. During this time, you may be expressing through communication with others your need for independence based on your own personal beliefs about yourself, about the world, and about the foundation instilled in you through your life experiences. This is about breaking free from whatever situation is holding you back from expressing yourself, expressing your originality and creativity. You may want to hold on to the past. However, you'll be watching your life break free from that. And this breaking free may seem like you're not in control. The air grand trine is giving you an opportunity to take control, voice your opinions, and let the dust settle where it lies. Within a week to 10 days, the Sun and Venus move into the keyword expiation, still in your ninth house. Expiation refers to following the laws of man or the laws of God or a higher power. This is an important area of the zodiac where you'll be focused on your moral and ethical beliefs and responsibilities. If you're in a marriage and don't believe in separation and divorce, you may be asking yourself many questions about your faith. Can you rebuild your home, your family, your marriage, your business, and yourself without separation or divorce? How will your kids take news of separation or divorce? If you move away, will the children be close to you or the other parent? Maybe your partner wants the separation or divorce, and you don't have a say in the matter as much as you try to voice your opinions. Mars in your fifth house of children, Saturn in your first house of self, and Sun-Venus in your ninth house of legal issues may manifest as you standing up for your child or children in a legal battle. If you are separating or divorcing, attorneys may be involved and possibly a judge. You may have to stand up for yourself and fight for custody of your children. There are many options at play in this scenario. However, this is a time you will be standing up for yourself, your rights, your children's rights in some regard. This can even be about fighting for your children's rights at school or moving so you can get them in a new school that goes with your belief system. If you are not married or have children, this will be a time of looking at your beliefs and expressing them to others. This will also be a time of using your creativity to express what is bothering you that you need to enlighten others about. The change you are going through needs to be expressed and listened to by others. You may feel like the restructuring of your life is represented through the restructuring the whole world is going through right now. Your beliefs and ideas are very important. It is almost an Aquarian duty to enlighten the world through your understanding and fearlessness to challenge, rebel, and communicate your ideas and beliefs to others. This is how you get the people to wake up to realities and truths you know. This in turn is how you affect change in the world. In December, the Sun, Mercury, Venus, and Pluto will be in Capricorn, just as they were last year. Just as January began with deep psychological and spiritual introspection, the year ends the same way. Mercury and Venus will form a harmonious aspect to Uranus and the nodes, once again working on deep issues as they pertain to healing the past and moving towards the future. Uranus once again is enlightening you to situations in your life that may pertain to your children. Much probably has happened for you this year with your children, and now is a time to work on healing aspects of yourself that were wounded from these experiences. This is a time to get away alone to work things out. Your children may also have become more rebellious themselves, and that is a strain on you. However, your children may also go through lots of positive, exciting, and stimulating experiences that are wonderful. Life is constant ups and downs, and you are working on an inner foundation that, once established, will be the structure that holds everything together for the rest of your life. Please subscribe to my channel and give a thumbs up if you like this video. To have a personal astrology reading with me, visit astrologywithjeffreybryan.com, or you can follow me on Instagram at astrologywithjeffreybryan, or on Getter at Jeffrey Bryan. You can also subscribe to my blog at my website, astrologywithjeffreybryan.com, and also various types of meditations can also be found on my website. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye, everyone.